Hey there guys, in today's video I have Jan from Busy Beak Toys who's going to be showing us how to dye wooden and natural components that can be used in doing parrot toys. So if that is something you are interested in, if that's something you've always wondered about, make sure to stick around because that's going to be coming up right after this. Hey there guys, this is Jack over at Hi Redbird, where I am tirelessly working to find new ways to make the keeping of exotic animals and pets more exciting, more affordable, and ultimately more enjoyable. And in today's video I have a very special guest. I have Jan from Busy Beaks Toys. Hi Jan!
Hey, how are ya?
I'm doing all right. Now I'm excited for this video because we're going to be showing you guys how to dye using a parrot-safe dye. We'll be telling you how to mix it up, how to dye it, but I'm really excited about this because all of these colors look incredible. So this is the brand of dye that you use, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
And what brand of dye is this?
VitaCritter Colorant from Mighty Bird Toys.
Okay, and so this is a parrot-safe dye that we can use for natural parrot toy parts, correct?
Right.
Because I know people...
Or rope, or sisal, or anything you want to dye.
Okay. So one thing I guess we should point out, since we are using dye that will dye pretty much anything, you want to make sure that you have gloves on, you want to make sure that you have a tarp, you have protected your space. You'll notice we are outside right now, so that way we don't have to worry about it spilling on the floor or anything like that, but obviously make those considerations. So I guess first things first, how do we mix this up?
It's super simple. If you get the sample pack from VitaCritter, you'll get 1 ounce bottles of 9 different colors. And it is super vibrant colors. I cheat a little bit because when I dye a lot. So I will take a 16-ounce bottle of 70% alcohol. I will take 1 ounce out of it, and I'll just pour the 1 ounce in it. That might be a lot for an average person to use. So we did the formula. If you take 1 teaspoon of colorant to 15 teaspoons of alcohol, 15 teaspoons is a healthy 1/3 cup. Then we also did the math on
A tablespoon.
a tablespoon, thank you.
So if you have a measuring cup that you are measuring this in, and again, remember, this is a dye, so you want to make sure you have a cup that you're not worried about potentially being a little bit stained. Please don't use, grandma's antique measuring cup. But if you add 1 tablespoon of the dye to a measuring cup and then top it off to the 1 cup mark with the 70% rubbing alcohol, that'll get you the exact ratio that you need of the VitaCritter. So I am going to put a link in the description section down below where you guys can find the VitaCritter Colorant from Mighty Bird Toys. It does come in 9 different colors. It comes in Crash Orange, Navidad Red, Vita Teal, Zaza Pink, Chico Yellow, Darby Green, Liberty Spring Green, Sandy's Favorite Purple, and Romeo Blue. Now all of those colors can be mixed with each other too, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, you can get as creative as you want to get with it. As you can see, those of us that do a lot will actually end up putting them in just squirt bottles, just regular condiment bottles. And Nancy from Boomzuki has already demonstrated doing the colors on some coffee filters. So that makes that kind of coloring really easy. And if you have small projects, that works out better.
Right, and one thing I want to point out, so Nancy has clear condiment bottles that she uses for the colors, so looking at them you can get a really good sense of what color they are, but some of the colors are going to be a little bit close. So here we have the pink and the red, so they are labeled at the top. She has also gone through, she has marked how much colorant to add, then top it off to how much alcohol she needs to have that exact 1 to 15 part ratio. So that's a really easy way to do it. Because I know a lot of people, it's going to depend on what you're wanting to dye and how much dye you're wanting. I mean, some people may just want to dye everything one color because it's their favorite color. If you love hot pink, you may want all of your bird's toys to be hot pink. So you may
Zaza pink.
Zaza pink.
Zaza pink.
Zaza pink. So you may want to go with the method where you mix up an entire bottle of alcohol, and you can store it just like this. You can use the squirt bottle on the top of the alcohol, just like that, to go ahead and apply it. Now, I know when you make toys, you usually make a few items at a time.
Right.
Or more than a few items at a time. So do you want to go ahead and walk us through how you do your setup for...
Actually, for parts, we will set up 9 containers.
Okay.
And each container will be set up, and then we will go in front of that, put our wood in, and then we have this very fancy dollar store cat scooper. And that's how we will actually take our parts out, and we will have obviously an area to start them drying.
Okay. So you do one separate container for every single color, correct?
That's how we do it.
Okay.
And then at the end you end up with some extras left over. You can actually then pour it into one of the bottles and save your leftovers for another project.
Awesome. So do we want to show them how to dye these popsicle sticks that we have here?
This is pre-made. This happens to be Crash Orange.
I was going to say, it's the magic of television. It was already done.
That's right. It's already done. So just pour some in, and quite frankly, with this particular dye, obviously you want to have it covered, and then you can just take them out.
So it's not a soaking process, it's a dipping process.
It's a dipping process. You do not need to soak, and because this is alcohol based, it won't produce bacteria, mold, and then just set it someplace to dry.
Right.
Make sure that you have your fingers covered.
So as long as you make sure that they're completely dry before you give them to your bird, they're safe to give to your bird.
Absolutely.
And again, just because it is going to be primarily rubbing alcohol as that mix for the dye, you want to make sure you're doing this somewhere with good ventilation. You want to be aware of fumes and things like that. But yeah, I mean, this tote, the scoop that you have for it, which I think telling people that it's just a cat litter scoop is absolutely wonderful, because then they know where they can look for those things. You can dry it out on these, shallow metal trays. We're just drying it outside right now, so that's going to be great for that. And then we're not going to try to do this on camera because I can guarantee that would go completely wrong. But after we're done with the video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to just pour the remainder of this dye back into the bottle. So that way you get the best usage of your product. You're not wasting anything. So, I mean, I think that is absolutely incredible. And like, you can already see the color that you're getting on those toy parts is amazing. I've seen people dye using other things, and the color intensity isn't anything like that at all. All right, guys, so I think we can all agree that the dyeing of wooden pieces for parrot toys is pretty simple and straightforward. Now, I know a lot of people may not be interested in doing this on their own, so I am going to put the link for the Busy Beaks store in the description section down below. This is the method they use for dyeing their natural pieces, rope, coffee filters, wooden beads, any of those things. So if you like the approach but don't want to do the actual work, you can check that out. They also have a group on Facebook for people who are putting together their own toys. So there will also be a link to the Facebook group down below as well. That's going to be a great opportunity to learn from other bird owners to see what they are doing in order to provide the best possible care for their birds. So I definitely encourage you to check all of those out. You definitely want to check out Mighty Bird Toys. That's where we got the color, the VitaCritter color that we used for today's demonstration. So that link will also be in the description section down below. So I do want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and hope to see you next time. I do need to say thank you to my Patreon patrons for helping to make these videos possible. You can find out more by visiting Hi Red Bird on Patreon or clicking the link in the description section down below if you would like more information. Thanks!